Hey YouTube, it's Brenda Lee Turner from LeadSecrets.com, and today it's Taco Thursday. So today we are going to be making some really easy, simple, Latin-inspired dinner. And really, you can prepare all this stuff in advance, have it throughout the week, and you can't go wrong with fresh ingredients. I want to just make that very clear. You can't go wrong when you're using fresh ingredients. Alright, so before we start, I just want to run down these things that I always keep in my fridge. If you have these things in your fridge, you could throw together a dinner and not even have to worry about it. You won't have to go to the grocery store. So I've always got some cilantro in my fridge. I use this for salsa, I use this for eggs in the morning, I use this in my salads. I use this pretty much for everything and anything. So you should have a little bit of raw cilantro every single day. I've always got some limes and or lemons in my fridge. I always have a purple onion. I call them purple onions. I will call them purple onions till the day that I die because they are purple. I've always got some kind of bell pepper, green, red, sometimes all three. Avocados, I've always got some avocados, some fresh tomatoes. Oh my goodness. I always have at least one habanero pepper in my fridge. At any given time, I always have a habanero pepper. You only need a little bit of this to make a whole dish taste amazing. So good for you. Very, very high in capsaicins. And capsaicins are thermogenic. They're natural thermogenic. If you have those things in your fridge, on any given time, you can throw together a delicious meal for your family. And that leads me into the topic of dinner. A lot of people don't take enough time to just sit down and eat a nice meal with their family, turning off the television, the Facebook, the iPhone. I think once a week, it's an awesome tradition to start with your family, if you don't already, to sit down, enjoy a nice home-cooked meal, and talk about your day. I know that seems like it doesn't have a lot to do with fat loss, but really, it truly does. To take time to slow down, to love one another, to just really relax and appreciate the company of the people that you're with, or just appreciate your own company if you're by yourself. Just sitting down in peace and quiet, light a candle, and enjoy your food and really taste the flavors of the food and appreciate cooking a nice meal, and just make it a weekly tradition to take some time to do this every week. Alright, now let's go ahead and get started. The proteins that I'm using tonight are chicken thighs and ground chicken. And I'm cooking both of these because I'm kind of prepping myself for the next couple days for meals. I got this can of Chipotle chilies. You can really find this at any grocery store. I really recommend that you always have these on hand too. Awesome stuff. So we're just gonna throw some of the sauce and chilies into each one. You don't need to add too much salt because that Chipotle chili stuff has salt. So I'm gonna put about a pinch of salt. Rachel Ray always throws it over her left shoulder for good luck. I don't believe in that stuff. And by the way, I have the brown rice cooking in the back. I just wanted to get that going so you guys didn't have to watch me cook rice. And since I'm out of the Mrs. Dash Lime, I'm gonna be using barbecue seasoning. Oh man, this stuff is so good. It tastes like, do you know those potato chips you used to eat when you were a kid? The Lay's barbecue potato chips? This tastes like the powder on those Lay's barbecue potato chips. Really, and it's all natural, organic, but it tastes so good. And just a touch of the hot Mexican chili pepper. You don't like your food spicy, you probably wouldn't want to add the hot Mexican style chili powder. I like my food very, 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 very spicy. So we got the marinade stuff done. What I'm going to do is put a lid on this and just set it aside for a minute. And so now I'm going to show you the salsa that I'm going to make for the side. This is going to be a mango salsa. Have you guys ever had mango salsa before? I make mango salsa quite often, and you can throw this on anything really. So you're going to go ahead and chop up your mango. When you're getting a mango for your mango salsa, just make sure that it's pretty ripe but not too soft. You don't want it to be too mushy because then it's just going to be a big mango mess. Alright, so now we add some cilantro. You basically take the cilantro, you grab it like this, you twist it off, and there's going to be some stems in there, but it's not a big deal because we're just going to chop it up anyway. So give your cilantro a nice rough chop, and then you rough chop it again, and then one more time, and you want to go pretty heavy on the cilantro. I'm going to take my purple onion, that's right, you heard me, purple onion, and I'm just going to cut it in half. We're gonna need the purple onion for some of our other stuff later on too. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of the purple onion. Is it bothering you that I keep calling it a purple onion? A ½ inch thick, and you're just gonna give it a quick little chop. I got a big juicy jalapeno here. Do you see how big this is? Alright, so you take your jalapeno pepper, and you guys know this already, but you take all the seeds out. You scoop them out with a spoon, you scrape the insides out, and we're going to go ahead and chop up the jalapeno. If you don't like it very spicy, you could just go ahead and skip the jalapeno altogether, or you could put just a little bit of the jalapeno. We're also going to do a half a lime. The last thing that I'm going to add, of course, is the Cholula lime hot sauce. Oh my goodness, this stuff is so good. If you don't have the stuff, you should get it, especially if you like hot sauce. So you use this on your tacos. You can use this, like I said, on your chicken, in your salads, whatever you want to do, but this is awesome, awesome, awesome. I found some amazing organic on the vine tomatoes. These are so good. What I'm gonna do is just make the separate toppings and everything for the tacos really quick. What I'm gonna do is just slice these up. I don't like to leave them plain, so I season them up a little with just a touch of oregano. Stir that in. And you can use these just like any other condiment. You can put these in your fridge, have them whenever you want on your eggs or whatever. And really, they're so good. Obviously, we can't have a taco party without guacamole. So we're gonna use 1 avocado, and like I said, this is intended to be for a family. I personally am this is probably gonna last me for days. Okay, then you chop up your cilantro, nice and good. As far as I'm concerned, you can't have a decent anything without plenty of cilantro. All right, again, we're gonna be using our purple onion. Guacamole is a very personal matter. You're gonna have to decide how thick or thin you want your guacamole. If you want it chunky, if you want it not so chunky, give it a quick stir. Every time that you add something, you give it a quick stir. Half of a fresh lime, 1 jalapeno, 2 cloves of garlic, 1 more tomato. Some people will blend their guacamole. I really like to get like a big chunk of avocado or a big chunk of tomato or whatever. But if you want to blend it and make it more like a smooth, creamy guacamole, you can do that too. Before we start cooking our chicken, I am going to put 1/4 teaspoon of coconut oil into the pan, and then I'm going to add 1 minced habanero pepper into the oil. And what this is going to do is impart the spiciness and the capsaicins into the oil. The last thing that we're going to be doing is our cilantro and lime rice. You just go ahead and rough chop your cilantro. So you throw your cilantro in there and mix it all up. Kind of squeeze in some lemon. Oh man, I mean lime. Squeeze in some lime and just a touch, tiny touch of sea salt. And there we have it. That is our cilantro lime rice. So today I'm going to be using one little corn tortilla. And if you want, you can use the brown rice tortillas. Very important note about these. If you don't warm them up in a pan or the microwave or something, they will just crumble. So you need to make sure you do that with either your corn or your brown rice tortillas, or else you'll have a big mess. Everybody was asking me, Brenda, how do you eat these brown rice tortillas without them breaking? Well, you have to warm them up, and they'll make them pliable, and then they won't break on you. All right, I've got my chicken here. If you're a vegetarian, you're gonna use black beans for this. And also for the vegetarians and non-vegetarians, I have a quick little trick for you. That's it. That's all the protein I'm going to use, about 4 ounces. Then you pretty much let everything else, the toppings, be the star of the show. Little tiny bit of rice. I've got some fresh red and yellow peppers that I talked about earlier. These are organic, a big heaping portion of those. And the guacamole, I'm just going to put a teaspoon. And it's very handy to do a teaspoon in each thing so that you're measuring out your portions. What I'm going to do with the mango salsa, I'm going to put a little bit right on top of the taco. And I'm also going to put some on the peppers. Dinner is done. Oh yeah, I forgot. Instead of regular cheese, I never ever use regular cheese. I hate cheese. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love cheese, the flavor and texture and everything, but I hate it for fat loss. There's no benefits to eating cheese whatsoever. Use something called almond cheese. You can find this at Whole Foods. You're probably thinking, whoa, Brenda, you have taken me to a new level with your almond cheese. But this almond cheese is very good. It doesn't have any fat. It's got 1 gram of fat, 7 grams of protein. So if you're a vegetarian, throw some of this with your black beans, and that's going to up the protein intake. You only need 1 ounce of this. And this comes in various flavors, and it's very good. Melts just like regular cheese. So there you have it. That's my healthy Taco Thursday recipe for you guys. There's actually quite a few recipes in here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 good recipes that you can use throughout your week, throughout your month, to help keep you going. And hopefully you got some ideas from this. And if you want a printout of the recipes, you can go to my blog. I just switched everything over. We're working on some new stuff for you guys, getting the blog super cool and awesome. But in the meantime, you can go to the blog down at the link below. I'll put all the recipes there for you. And also, if you want to get my fat loss plan, you can go to leansecrets.com. And other than that, I will talk to you guys later. I've got a little food to eat. Bye!